A Valdosta State grad and member of the CBS Sports team died over the weekend after being in a crash. Bryce Adair was a production assistant. He was in Ohio preparing to work a PGA tournament when he got into a crash. Adair received a special tribute from Jim Nance during Saturday's coverage of the tournament here on WCTV. A GoFundMe for Adair has raised more than $80,000. CBS Sports lead reporter Tracy Wolfson sharing her thoughts on this passing over the weekend, describing him as a kind soul and true gentleman. VSU says Adair graduated in 2017. He was a mass media graduate and won a sports Emmy for his coverage of the Super Bowl.